Hey everybody, I'm Eugene Driscoll. Welcome to Valley Navel Gazing on valleyindy.org and 103.5 FM WNHH in New Haven. I'm joined by my co-host Ethan Fry.
G'day.
Today, what is that? Australian?
Australian, yeah. I don't know why. Did I have like an Australian?
Oh wait, this might be a
This
call.
could be Mr. Mainolfi.
We're recording this, and I put out on Facebook our phone number if anybody were to call in and talk. So let's see. Hey there, you've reached valleyindy.org. To whom am I speaking?
This would be Tom Harbinson. Eugene, how are you?
Hey Tom, how are you doing? Merry Christmas and all that.
Well, Christmas is a fair bit away. It's advancing though.
Happy Festivus.
Happy Blueberry Day.
Yes.
Now you're talking. We are in blueberry season, correct?
Happy strawberries.
Strawberry season has ended.
Oh, how dare you.
If you have me on recording, for those who don't know, I happen to work at Jones Family Farm.
Strawberry season has ended, but not in my refrigerator. We still have those delicious treats from Jones Family Farm ready to be eaten. So what's up, Tom? Thank you very much for calling in. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I saw your Facebook post, and you're looking for ideas on what to either issues, observation, complaints, and comments and questions. So I threw a few out there. I guess the first one, which I've been a little bit out of touch with, although I've spoken about it before, is the sewer infrastructure projects in Derby. How are those progressing? Where do we stand with some of the stuff?
It was canceled, and we're all to use outhouses and deal with it.
Wow, that sounds like Baghdad.
No, in all serious, I mean, I'll give you an off-the-cuff answer. I mean, Jack Walsh is of Derby, former head guru at the United Way, recently retired from that position, is now the chairman of the Derby WPCA, which is a volunteer-appointed position. And they're making progress. They have been doing there's a pump station currently under construction. It is moving forward. I wish I could give you more information, but I did go to a Derby WPCA meeting, and I can tell you that the projects are moving forward. One of the things that the WPCA has been touting is the fact that they have saved money by not having to build the Route 34 pump station right near your family's business there on Roosevelt Drive. They were going to build it across the street, but now they're going to build it on the same side on some property right next to it. So that saves a ton of money.
Well, that's good to hear. I know one of the other things where they were hoping to project savings was cohabitating their work with the Route 34 Main Street DOT project. And since that seems to have been delayed a little bit, I wondered, is there going to be any impact on the sewer project needing to move forward on its timetable versus what the state might be doing on the Route 34 roadway?
I don't have a specific answer, but since it's 2017, I'll just openly speculate, and I'll say that I'm going to assume that the Derby WPCA has so many projects lined up, they will be able to tailor whatever they have to do under Roosevelt Drive to coincide with what the state is going to do on Route 34. I know it's been said time and time again through this entire process that they don't want to, do essentially two projects. If they can get it done at the same time, they will. And I think that's still the marching orders as far as I know. I know they're doing a project right now on Emmett Avenue, or they're about to begin a project where they're going to be paving that road. And essentially that was going to be done at two separate times, but they're doing those together. So I'm going to assume yes, but I will warn our listeners, could be completely fake news.
So it sounds like when they're going to make Main Street great again, we'll make the sewers great again.
I've been, I consulted with Donald Trump, and I was like, forget it. You need to make the sewers great again. That
You're
is
going
the
to
way
have the
to
most
go.
beautiful sewers you've ever seen. They're going to be
Gold-plated
spotless.
sewers.
You're going to love them. You're not going to be able to tolerate how great the sewers are in Derby, Connecticut.
You're really in good shape.
Moving around these days, but I'll move on to another one that I had observation.
Oh, wait. Tom, I just hung up on you. I apologize. I just hung up on Tom Hart. It was an accident. I'm sorry. I thought... Oh, wait, let me get this. Let me get this.
Got it. Speaker.
Did somebody ring your doorbell?
Tom, I apologize. I picked up... The receiver was on our telephone, and I picked it up so I could get the microphone a little closer. And apparently, Mark Zuckerberg did not like that, and he hung up on you.
Oh, well,
Zeroed it out.
good luck to Mark.
So you were talking about... the last thing
So,
I heard you say, you said you had a complaint.
I was noticing that on talking about transit-oriented development, I noticed that the new development of the shopping center on Bridgeport Ave in Shelton by Nels Rock...
is that the Big Y?
The Big Y, essentially.
Yeah, the Big Y,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I don't see any sidewalks that allow people to walk to the adjacent bus stop.
I'll have to check that out.
That is a good point. Yeah, that development looks like something. I mean, I keep hearing, we don't want to build these developments, these commercial centers with a giant sea of a parking lot, and then all the retail in the back of the property some way. And it does look that's exactly what that is. It looks like kind of like a Derby Walmart type deal.
Yeah, and I had this came to my senses about 10 years ago. I had a cousin who was here from Toronto visiting us, and we were in for a wedding, and they were staying at one of the hotels in Bridgeport Ave. And her and her husband wanted to go out to have a bite to eat at the local restaurant. And so, just like you would do in Toronto, you got out and you walk over to go down the sidewalk. And they were shocked that from the hotel to just go up to the Ruby Tuesdays area, or now the Longhorn Steakhouse, there was no sidewalks for anybody to walk.
Hey, and
in Toronto, being north, they have sidewalks. They have enough breadth from there to the road, so there's a snow shelf, so that it's usable in the wintertime.
And they even have, if they slip on the sidewalk, they have universal health care to take care of them.
Don't get all commie on us, Ethan. Sorry, Ethan's communist influence is being heard.
There are people who need to use the public transit facilities. And they are people who typically work in some of these facilities. The Big Y has people that need to, use the bus to get to work, or maybe they're transferring from the bus to somewhere else. But to not have a sidewalk, think about some of these places in the wintertime. Are they going to walk in the road in the slush? There's no sidewalk. There's no snow shelf for where the Bridgeport Ave state plows are going to come through and throw all the snow. I just don't think it's very well thought out.
Hey, I think I have got that similar.
I don't think that these facilities are being well
to Tom Harbin's
integrated with our development.
I'll
use that adjective very pointedly.
And I'll say I'll take that same concept and I'll slap Derby upside the head with it, because I live on Hawthorne Avenue in Derby. What am I in West Derby? I always
West
forget.
Derby. Yeah.
I'm in West Derby. And I would love to walk downtown. I would love to walk to Shelton. But you going on 34 from where I am, there's no way you can do that. My part of Derby is essentially cut off from the rest of Derby.
But Eugene, your part of Derby's got everything. You've got the Dewdrop Inn, and you got a new brewery coming.
Well, yeah, but if I get my drink on and then I want to walk past all that to go to like Archie Moore's for a burger, it's actually really difficult to do that, because you're kind of taking your life in your hands when you're walking on that stretch of 34 there. That you would think that they would extend the sidewalks out, we see every government in the state of Connecticut and New York, where I covered previously, they all get grant money for sidewalks and those freaking decorative lights. They're everywhere.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
like
yeah.
the lowest hanging fruit of government grant writing. But I would love to see Derby extend its sidewalk, past like where Dominic Thomas Law Office is there, and then stretch up towards me in front of that brewery, in front of Mr. Civitella's place right there, in front of the Dewdrop.
Sidewalk. There is a sidewalk in front of Apollo. Well, it really starts in front of the thrift store there, but and then in front of the old Mangerdai, which is now the Bad Sons Brewery, folks by the falls. There is a sidewalk that goes along there on that side of Route 34.
Yeah, but if you, I've walked it. I walked it before. It was like, you got to get a tetanus shot. But then if you walk it towards downtown Derby, you're essentially put into that weird an aqueduct right there. Yeah, it's not pedestrian friendly at all. And I'm saying like they could connect the city better if these properties are going to develop or redevelop. They need to have some way to walk people from where I live to downtown Derby. And you can't necessarily go down Hawthorne Avenue to Anson Street after dark. That's not always advisable. That's just the way it is. All right, Tom. Hey, thanks a lot for calling. Is there anything else you wanted to add?
I got one more thing.
All right.
And it kind of relates to you in the news business.
Oh, this is exciting.
So, I don't have cable TV myself, never had it. But I understand that Channel 8, WTNH, our local ABC affiliate, is no longer carried on Comcast in Fairfield County.
I have heard that. I haven't followed it at all.
Well, here's the situation. The Comcast has said that because the Nielsen rating system considers them to be part of the New York metro market in Fairfield County, and since they already carry a New York metro market affiliate of ABC, meaning the WABC affiliate from New York City, that carrying the WTNH affiliate is duplicitous, and they no longer have to do it. So they dropped them.
Wow, that's fascinating.
Well, if there is a duplicitousness with that, then why didn't you also drop WVIT, the NBC affiliate from New Britain? Well, maybe is it because Comcast also owns that affiliate? But I don't see the local people getting the local traffic report from, the WABC New York affiliate. I think it's one of these issues where a bigger and bigger conglomerate or congestion of news gathering is causing less local news to be delivered to the citizenry. And similar to what you are able to accomplish in the Valley and giving us some local news, there is a dearth of local content as to informing the citizenry as to what's going on with their either municipal government or state government. And I wonder how that can be fixed, because I see that as a real problem for our society.
valleyindy.org/donate.
I hear you, Ethan, and I've done
yes,
that,
I'm being flippant,
but,
sort of, yes.
When we see bigger companies
yes,
gobble up newspapers and consolidate, how is that good?
I don't think it is.
That's not a question we can answer, really. But the rhetorical point you make, I think, is very valid.
I think one of the things that's interesting about, the Register and the Post now being owned by the same company, and to his credit, I don't know who the new guy is, the head guru at the Post.
Is it
Aldman?
Mark Aldham?
He was a current guy a long time ago. They were talking about adding jobs to the Register, which is like, they cut that paper to the bone. It was owned by a hedge fund who basically buys, distressed assets. And so to add jobs at the Register isn't really, you could increase the staff by 100%. Now you have 2 people. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. I don't know, but I don't know. The thing about, and if I may just plug the Valley Indy, the thing that we have not been able to do is to convince the business community to invest in us, because we can't give you massive numbers like some of like Facebook can. It's been a real challenge for us to say to businesses. But what we can give you is local credibility and some type of prestige. You're basically aligning yourself with an organization that is doing good for the community. Our primary purpose is not to necessarily sell an ad or get page views, but just to deliver the news, which is very different than what Comcast is doing with WTNH and NBC Connecticut. But we have thus far been a failure in that
narrow respect, yes. But
although I will say that in terms of our poster board, we had a specific revenue goal for 2018, and we already met it. So there are some good things happening. So anyway, that's my response.
Well, you're doing a lot of good work, and I appreciate it, and I know a lot of other of my friends do. And I guess the last thing I'll end with is, have you heard of any traction to my idea of merging Shelton with Derby?
Shelby.
Well,
sorry, I just something went down the wrong pipe there, but I saw your hashtag Shelby.
That would be the Budweiser he's drinking. It's Friday.
Yes, exactly. And
well, I think as the longer we're here, the more we think Derby and Ansonia.
Yeah,
it sort of is hard to argue against why that isn't one community. But I don't know. I have not. There's been absolutely no traction.
It's one of those things where it's like, it's an idea that makes sense if you ask anybody about it. That they'll say like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But then you transition or try to transition from that to, all right, let's put concrete steps in action to make this happen. And then like there's just a miasma of like, oh, well, teachers in Ansonia are paid more than teachers in Derby, or I'm not sure. Like,
it goes nowhere.
Yeah. It's just people just find ways. They find ways to hiccup the whole thing.
And I'll just point out again that Derby talked about, and I covered this meeting, and we spent freelance money on covering these meetings and this process. Derby Board of Ed was talking about restructuring the school system and possibly joining the Irving and Bradley elementary schools, which the Connecticut's smallest city has 2 elementary schools, which is just what? And they're not neighborhood schools. People still call them neighborhood schools. That is BS. But even that went nowhere. So the school district could not regionalize within itself. So I just don't think there's any political will to do Derby Shelton or Derby Ansonia. And this podcast, by the way, will never air.
Well, you know what? It's what they call a moonshot idea. And,
right.
You try to put a man on the moon, and we achieved that. But along the way, you solve for X. There's a lot of unknown things that you're able to. Gee, I didn't realize that was an issue that we could solve. So you're solving for X on the moonshot idea. So it's a moonshot idea that may never come to fruition, but along the discussion lines of talking about the concept, you say, maybe we can work together on our Parks and Rec departments, or maybe we can work together on our emergency responders a little bit better, or whatever. But I think there's so much as a valley region that we really identify ourselves with that we could work closer together and learn from one person's successes, such as Shelton's economic development, and learn of maybe some opportunities like Derby's location with a train station. I mean, there's everybody's got something to bring to the table that's positive, and I think we could merging those two communities would be a positive. Do it.
I don't mean to cut you off, but we've got another caller. We don't know what to do, so thank you so much for your call, Tom. And
that means you're getting popular, so count your blessing.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Tom.
Thanks, Eugene. Take care of you, soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Hello?
Hi, I'm here. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm
I want to take you off speaker.
Okay, we have you on speaker.
Dual speaker.
That's fine.
Technology is amazing. What do you want to talk about? What city are you calling from? Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Brantford, but I'm a former Ansonia resident.
Brantford?
Yeah, I'm calling about the bike.
The bike?
Is this old news?
No, I
don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about. What Brantford bike?
No, somebody had a stolen bike or something, my brother said.
Stolen bike? Is that ringing any bells with you?
Hold on a minute. He sent me a picture of it. Hold on.
We've had a couple of stories, or no, not a story. We had a post the other day where I asked people in Derby to talk about any vandalism issues or security, and people noted that there have been a rash.
No, this was all about a bike. Hold on. My brother's an idiot. Hold on a minute.
No, your brother's not an idiot.
My
Well, you know what he
brother is.
did? He took the picture from the article that was posted, which I thought was Valley Independent, and he went on Craigslist. It was the first one that matched up, and he looked at the guy's name in Brantford, and he looked up the number like you can now in cyber world, and he contacted the girl or whoever it was that was. It was like
Wait, let me jump
bike.
in. Let me jump in. So your brother saw a bike advertised on wherever he saw it. He tracked it down on Craigslist and eventually and actually found out it may have been stolen. Is that what we're saying? A bike was stolen?
Well, he's not sure if it's the same bike, but they said it was from Zane's here in Brantford, and it was an $800 bike. It had a Zane sticker. He said it looked exactly the same.
Where was it stolen out of? It was stolen out of Brantford?
No, it was stolen out of Derby. Hold on a second.
Okay, all right.
I just want to put you on speaker and go to my text message.
All right. You do what you got to do.
He sent me a picture.
Ethan and I are going to talk about Game of Thrones coming back. Well, are you excited for Game of Thrones?
I don't have anything to say about that.
Oh,
People in Brantford don't watch Game of Thrones. Ooh.
Well, I don't watch TV.
You never watched The Wire, ma'am?
what about Murphy Brown?
Murder, She Wrote was good.
Yeah, I watched that when I was a kid.
Northern Exposure?
The A-Team, Dukes of Hazzard.
Dukes of Hazzard, A-Team, yes.
Are you a communist, ma'am? Is that what's going on? Are you Russian?
Not a fan of Joel Fleischman, I guess.
No, I'm not Russian. I'm Lithuanian and Polish.
Oh, okay.
And Ukrainian, actually.
All right.
But no, I don't have it. I don't watch a lot of TV.
Okay.
I actually swore off cable for like 3 years.
I did that too, and then I've started to watch Joe. What's his name? Chuck Scarborough. Not Chuck Scarborough. Chuck Scarborough.
Joe Scarborough.
Joe. That
Morning
guy.
Joe.
That guy. Chuck Scarborough is the
Morning
guy.
Joe and Mika?
Yeah, I have been watching that. It's just like.
Well, I started watching Netflix now, but I don't watch any of that. I watch a lot of movies.
Well, okay. So what are you watching on Netflix?
Movies, but right now, like last night, I watched Morgan Freeman with the one where he's on the aisle, something in the aisle.
I don't know what that
Not
is.
sure.
Shawshank Redemption?
No, that's my favorite movie. No, this was
Kiss the Girls?
it was a movie where
Shutter
he
Island?
falls in love with this woman who has 3 daughters on some island, and he's a crippled old man. And
I didn't see that.
no, I can't remember everything.
Not
I
sure.
watched.
Was Robert Duvall in it?
No. No, the only one that I recognize in it is
Roadhouse? No, that's
something
Patrick
of
Swayze.
Isle. I could look it up if you hold on.
I just messed that one. Are you watching any shows on Netflix though? Any of the Netflix originals?
No, I you know what? I watch a lot of old Netflix like Sex and the City and Seinfeld, or all the old comedies and stuff. But I've never gotten
The
into
Magic
not
of
one
Belle
new
Isle.
show.
Wait, you just
So I'm like
talked over.
totally like I don't know.
Wait, Ethan Fry has the answer to the
The
Morgan
magic.
Freeman-
The magic.
You just talked over me. Just hold on a second. Okay.
The Magic of Belle Isle. Directed
That's it.
by Rob Reiner. So need
Yes,
you
it was a
need
Rob
any
Reiner
of us
film.
here
I should
more.
have said that because
Wow.
that makes it. When I saw Rob Reiner, I was like, oh, that's going to be good.
I completely missed that.
Fred Willard was in it. I mean,
What do you think, Ethan? What do you think Rob Reiner's best movie is?
he did This Is Spinal Tap, right?
Oh yeah,
I'd have
I
to
forgot
probably
about
say that.
Yeah.
These go to 11.
Stand by Me
Oh.
though. Stand by Me is pretty good too though.
That's a good movie.
Yeah.
The Princess
That's
Bride
another
is
thing
also
that I've been
very
watching
good.
on Netflix is the one with Arnold. What is it called? The
Alien versus
series
Predator.
a long time ago.
With Arnold,
Uh,
all the
yeah.
family.
No. The one that... See, I can never remember names of things. That doesn't stick in my brain. The one with him, not Growing Pains, but it's him and his brother.
Oh, The Wonder Years.
The Wonder Years,
Oh.
that's it.
Oh yeah, that was a great show.
Winnie
Yeah,
Cooper.
for some reason, I can't get in my head, like, different names of movies and stuff. I have a brother of mine that could totally repeat scenes of movies. I can't do that.
So you're saying your brother saw a picture of Fred Savage from the Wonder Years stealing a bicycle in Ansonia and posted it on Craigslist. That's what happened.
That's not what I said. Fred Savage had nothing to do with it.
It was Daniel Stern.
I'm just asking the question.
I'm telling you. It said here. Oh, wait a minute. We're about to tape a podcast. We don't have a topic. What should we talk about? Any questions, observations?
Wait, hold on. Let me interrupt you. Ethan, have you been... Yeah, that's a post that we did. Are you monitoring any responses?
I should do that.
Yeah, you should do that. Like I had to do... I'm holding a microphone right here. I got a phone going.
I got
a microphone going.
Hold on.
Yeah, actually, ma'am, I have to apologize. This is probably our fault. So we'll get the context right now by looking at... You go ahead. Go ahead. All right, that was our post. And then what happened?
This lady named Jules Betches shared a link. I don't know where she shared it, but it said, "Help me restore what was stolen," organized by Jules. It was a GoFundMe. And my brother said, "Stolen bike, right?" And he goes, "I found it." And then he took a picture of the bike that he saw on Craigslist. And he wrote, they were selling it for $240. And he emailed the lady, or private messaged her, and said, "If this is your bike," and Zane's is over here. That's why he called me. And he said, "If this is your bike, you might want to call this guy or call the cops or whatever. It might not be the bike."
Okay, so all right, that
I guess he
clears it
wanted
up.
me to put it on there that he thinks he knows who the bike snatcher is, but I thought you posted the story, so I'm embarrassed now that I called.
That's the
He
internet.
told me to call.
That's the internet.
well,
We are hosting the show that put out that post, but we have not seen that exact comment under our post yet. And this will air Monday. And so, Ethan, is the woman's name who posted the GoFundMe there?
I'm not
Can you
seeing
see it?
anything. No.
I think it's a fake name.
So yeah,
She might have actually already
or reach out to the police. Maybe
She might have removed it just during this conversation. So, but anyway, hey,
keep an eye out.
We'll post the info on our Facebook page, and I want to thank you for calling. And now you just owe us $1,000. That's it. And just
I'd rather get $1,000 for the scoop.
Just give us your credit card information, and it'll all be good.
I tell you what, I know where the office is. I'll come and pick up a check.
Okay.
So what are people going to talk about? They're going to talk about TV tonight on your
Lock the
podcast?
door. We were talking. We just had a whole conversation about Shelton, whether Derby should merge with Shelton, whether Ansonia should merge with Derby.
What are your thoughts on Mr. Zekin?
Who?
What?
Mr. Zekin.
Oh, Rich Zekin, the former constituent services director in Ansonia, now running for the Republican Party nomination.
And of course, we know who
Derby.
he is. We just said who because your question took us aback. Well, we don't. I live in Derby. I live in Derby, and I report on the city. I think it's going to be a heck of a mayoral race this year.
I do too.
And I think you've got 3 candidates who will focus on the issues and they'll be able to. Hey, what's that dog? Hey, dog! I'm talking here. Stop it.
She's my dog.
Very
She's my heart.
considerate.
But I'm missing it.
Apparently, your dog's not voting for Mr. Zekin.
I lived there for 44 years.
Lived where?
In Ansonia.
In Ansonia, okay.
I lived on Vaux Street, and then I lived on Columbia Street.
Okay.
What do you miss it? Do you miss the city at all, or like what made you? I don't want to say get out, but why did you move away?
Various reasons. Personal reasons.
Okay.
My son, and I don't care if anybody knows this, it's public record. He was in trouble, and he was constantly around the wrong people. And I think he needed a change.
How old was he when he? How old was he when he was?
It's about, he's 24 now, and it was going on like a 6-year thing.
That's interesting.
drugs, I don't know. I mean, I know what extent. I mean, not heroin or anything, I don't think, but from what I was told, not from him, but from, the experts. And just hanging around, being a bum. Then the North End is an eyesore for that,
So he was falling in with the wrong crowd. And did it help? I mean, because I'm asking, I'm interested.
He was no, I don't mind you asking questions. I wouldn't have brought it up. He was a baseball, and he played in Ansonia baseball since he was T-ball. He played all the way through. He went to high school in New Haven at career. He was the captain of the team in career baseball. He also played basketball for Ansonia, and he also did travel leagues for stuff. What is the name of that thing that they do? I sound like I have Alzheimer's. The stuff that they do, the All-Star League, no.
Like a traveling, it's okay. I'm not. We should.
Yeah,
I don't want to pinpoint his name.
He grew up with a good system, and he had good grades, and he was a jock. And then
was it in high school?
High school, and then all of a sudden, he didn't know what he wanted to do.
Because I'm asking, because I have a 6-year-old son myself, and we live in Derby, and it's just, man, being a parent is hard. And there's certain,
it is.
I'm trying to guide
I'm not saying moving them makes a difference.
Okay.
No. Every child, every parent is different. You could be the best parent, and your kid could screw up. You could be the worst parent, and your kid is number one. But with the police, he had, they were very familiar with him, so I moved out of here, and things have been a lot better.
And he's doing all right now?
Yeah, actually, he's got 7 or 8 months sober. He doesn't drink.
Did he get help? Did he go to?
Before, he doesn't smoke pot.
Did he fall into a 12-step program?
Yes.
Well, God bless him. All right.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And he's doing good. He knock on wood. He's working. He's trying to get things back together in his life, and and the people here in Brantford don't know him, and the cops don't know him. I mean, I hate to say it, but they do target. He's been stopped on my front porch in Ansonia, and they want to know why he's there.
Right, based on their past interactions with him. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You just got to take it day by day.
Great. Don't get me wrong. I know a lot of them, but what are you gonna do?
All right. Well, hey, thank you so much for calling. I really appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. I'm sorry it wasn't on a topic you were talking about, but
it's all good.
No topics. It's fine.
I mean, it was nice chatting with you guys. Now I got to go make dinner.
All right. Have a good one.
All right. You too. Bye-bye.
We had some other comments. Dave Leonard says he called but got voicemail, probably because we had 2 calls going on.
Can you comment on there? Actually, I'll comment on there. Hold on. I'm going to put this phone down.
Jimmy Ticky says, celebrate Shelton's Downtown Summer Concert Series begins July 21st. You could find out more about that via press release on our site.
Ticky is a marketing god.
Jay Seedor says, why are there still streets in Ansonia without city water? As far as I know, 2. And with that comes no fire hydrants. So,
that's the way the city has developed. I would recommend calling your alderman is a good place to start, or City Hall, the mayor's office, WPCA, the city attorney. There's plenty of numbers you can call and try to poke around. I would think to get something like that extended, you probably have to gather your neighbors together, and you'll have to say, I want to hook up to blah, blah, blah. So,
if you all show up at an alderman's meeting and speak, that'll probably help.
That's right. Yeah,
especially now, a few months before the election year.
That is a very good point to anyone out there, because a lot of people, the vast majority of people do not go to public meetings. And Ethan and I have both seen the public officials in the Valley really want to hear from people. They're looking, when someone comes in and has an issue, they'll deal with it. They'll, they from what I've seen, you do it in public too. Sometimes I've seen posts on Facebook and other places where someone will be, I called the mayor, they never got back to me. Do it in public. There's a public portion, a session of every single alderman meeting in all our towns or selectmen. Show up, talk about what you got to talk about, and that's a good one to ask. Like, how do I get hooked to the public water supply? The reason as to why, it's probably just that's the way it developed. And when your community or your housing development or wherever you live was approved, that's the way it was approved. So you can't really.
And also Christopher Bowen says the Nintendo Switch, which I don't, that's Greek to me.
No,
it's some sort of new console system happening. So I'll take your word for it.
Well, I had emailed Mr. Bowen or Facebook messaged him, and I had proposed doing some type of video log, which I think is also called
a vlog.
A vlog. And we would focus exclusively on the Nintendo Switch, which is Nintendo's latest game console. It just came out in March. He has one. I just bought one for my son, who's way into video games. And I thought, my thought was like, if we could do it via Twitch. I know you're a gamer and you stream all your gaming activities online. That is it's a video service that streams. You can do commentary. And
right.
It's really, the thing is, Nintendo has a real. They're like the Howard Stern of
proprietary.
Yes, or Saturday Night Live. The minute you put something up on the internet, they come and yank it off. So I got to talk to Chris more about that, because he is really knowledgeable about gaming and the gaming industry and the latest games. And I thought I want to get a sponsor for it, like somebody, $2,500, $5,000 for a year, come sponsor our gaming podcast.
GameStop or somebody.
Yeah. No, that would be obvious. But
how you don't tape anything anymore, LOL, says Tiffany Gray. So
two people mentioned that. Okay. All right. Like, did you not know what we were talking about?
Recording, please.
Recording. Thanks, copy editors.
Dude, please, it's not the preferred nomenclature.
We got 11 comments.
Coen Brothers reference.
Wait, you know what? I'll go back and edit my. You know what I'm going to do? What I'll do right now for the people who said tape, I'm going to go edit. Well, first I'm going to spit on my screen by accident, but I'm going to edit the post, and I'm going to say, instead of we're about to tape a podcast, I'm going to say we're about to record a podcast. Of course, now people will think it's live, because when people see the word record, that's what they think. So I would say that my.
And the gentleman we asked to call in has not called in yet. So.
And then I'll just say, look, I don't know what you people, because people love when you say you people are talking about. It clearly says record up top, not tape. Sincerely, Donald Trump
Junior? You're going to throw the junior?
Yes. That's it.
I'm sure the comments will be great on that.
Man, you throw a Harbinson into the podcast, 50 minutes. We're done. That's it. It's been over an hour. We've reached our goal.
Enjoy it, New Haven.
So is there anything else we were supposed to add before we sign off here? I see 8. I'll go back and take a look at these 8.
It is, but it won't be published. It will be published on the 17th, but we're recording it on Bastille Day. So liberté, égalité, fraternité.
Yeah, whatever. I love how everybody is. Oh, that was Mary. All right, Mariam Margansky. That's who that was. Oh yeah, I didn't realize she moved.
Me neither.
Okay,
one of our best commenters.
Yeah, I just saw she she had called and posted on our page.
Never
right
spoken
after that
before. So.
I just love how everyone is still commenting on our. Whenever you put Malloy. All right, here we go. Here we go. You know what, Ethan? You might have to take this one though, because I might have to step out for a second here.
Okay.
So, all right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go.
There you go. Yes. Hello.
Valley Independent Center. What do you mean, hello? ValleyIndy.org.
How you doing?
Well, I don't know. The truth? I'm doing all right. How about you?
I'm doing all right. Well, just a couple questions. Maybe, I don't know if anybody in the area is listening, but...
Wait, hold on 1 second. I got to hand the microphone to Ethan.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second here.
That'll be all right. Yeah, there you go.
Now just hold it over the... Yeah, it's got to be kind of close.
Yep.
All right, go ahead.
Yep, go
Caller,
ahead.
you're on the air.
All right. Just wondering if you heard anything about the Castle Lane subdivision lately. Kind of got swept under the books.
We were just in a bar where somebody brought that up about an
just
hour ago.
mentioned that to me. Basically, yeah. I just by way of background, Castle Lane is that's a proposed development or had been proposed development in Ansonia. That was, I don't know, a couple of years. They basically said that if the city would buy it and preserve it as open space, that'd be cool. But nothing has really happened since then. It was like the city was supposed to get a grant to do that, but like nothing's been announced. So yeah, I just heard from some random person that like, hey, the developer is going to reapply for that, but like nothing that to my knowledge that's been filed in City Hall yet, but we'll check on that. But you sound like you might have some inside info on that.
I don't have any inside info.
Oh.
I mean, I just live down there, so...
No, yeah, and it's like it's a subject that's every time we write about it, it attracts a lot of interest, obviously, because most of the people that have testified at those public hearings have said they don't want a bunch of new housing moving in and blasting and God knows what going on with most of the homes around there are on well water and everything.
All the homes around here are on
right.
well water. I was the one who posted earlier about the 2 streets that still have well water. This is one of them.
Yeah. Well, I somebody just mentioned that to us like literally 2 hours ago. So I just put it, I just wrote it down to like check on. But yeah, we haven't, we don't know whether it's coming back or not. The fact that 2 people have asked about it has we'll check on it now. But yeah, like I couldn't say for sure what's going on. But yeah, it's something that like
I mean, it's much appreciated.
Nope. Yeah. No problem.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you for the call.
Bye.
Yeah, that's interesting how we got essentially 2 inquiries about that recently, and that'll be interesting to see if that's becomes like an election year issue in Ansonia, because the question of what's going to happen with that was certainly, every time it comes up, it's certainly very important to the people in that neighborhood. And there's actually one of the Ansonia aldermen actually lives on that at the end of Granite Terrace, Charlie Stowe. So
I had stepped out for a second, so I apologize if you're repeating information. But what is there? The rumor is that it's.
No, I asked, whether he had any knowledge of anything going on. And he said no.
He just wants to know if we know.
Like,
okay.
yeah, then the fact that, that's 2 people asking about it today
and you
makes me curious. But
I won't go into the background.
Well, we'll have to check Monday. We'll
right.
check in the zoning office.
And that's the way news happens, like it's totally people powered. It's not fake news here. It's not the demigods or the corporate elitists who run the operation here who tell us what to cover. It's the guy calling mysteriously on the phone and being like, "Did you hear about this?" And of course we haven't, because
we're usually
we need
the last to hear about
right.
it. Right.
You gotta. Someone has to tell the reporter, and then we go.
But then we'll look into it.
We're not tapping phones, Wait, hold on. Let me make sure this is still taping. Am I still taping? We're still taping. We're now an hour 16.
Recording.
I don't know what's. Oh, I'm sorry. Whatever. I'm old. Okay. Valley Indy, you are live on the air.
Are you kidding me?
Wait, hold on. Maybe you're not. I got to turn it down. No, you are. You are. It's Ethan Fry, Eugene Driscoll, and the NSA.
What?
Ethan Fry, caller, turn down your radio.
We're getting the radio on.
We're getting background interference.
Get out of here. Well, I ain't even got radio on.
You got a scanner on?
No, I was sitting there just browsing Facebook and said, call in if you got a topic. Well, I got a topic.
Are you watching Netflix or something? Do you have us on speakerphone?
Yeah, I got you on speaker. Want me to take you off?
Yeah, if you would. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I did that. Okay.
All right. Oh, that's 100% better, caller.
Yeah, okay. It's the least I can do. Let it never be said I didn't do the least I could do.
Well, you could do a lot more, sir. There's a donate button on valleyindy.org. I mean, let's be honest here. If we're going to...
Well, I ain't donating nothing. Chicken wings. But anyway.
I'm not...
So let's say we just what are you guys discussing?
Well, what do you got?
Let's talk about something that's near and dear to my heart. It's the fact that why do people get so stirred up over this politics stuff? They go in, they back somebody up, and they find out after a while that, hey, you know what, I may have backed the wrong pony. And now all of a sudden I can't switch. So it's like they can't admit they made a mistake. So the more the guy has screwed the pooch, the more they or the person, people get, they get arrogant about defending them. Like let's take for instance, you've got your trumpeters.
I was going to say, you're talking about Seymour First Selectman Kurt Miller. I'm just kidding. That was a joke. It was a bad joke.
Hey, who's that there with you?
Ethan Fry.
I heard somebody laughing in the background.
Yeah, that was me.
Ethan Fry, he is paid to laugh,
How
sir.
dare I? But I agree with you, yes.
Back there?
Yes.
No, there's two of us hosting the show.
Well, who's your co-host?
Ethan Fry.
I don't know him.
Oh, it's a shame.
No, you know what I think it is, sir? I think, in my opinion, I hear what you're saying. I think the problem today, in my opinion, is that now politics is viewed in the same way sports are viewed. It's like everybody has their team. You either root for the Yankees or the Red Sox. And that's it. That's the divide. There's no civil conversation. There's no exchange of ideas. There's no compromise. It's just about winning, and your guy is right, the other guy's wrong. If you don't agree with me, you demonize the other side. You call names. With social media, you make up hashtags, negative hashtags. Guy at my wedding party has become this entire, I won't even say what wing, left or right, but you look at it, this is a guy who was in my wedding party. We went to a Catholic college together. He used to go volunteer his time down in Peru, building like water for people, and now he's just he's just totally bile and viciousness. And because he views now politics as I'm right, you're wrong, you don't agree with me, you're not human. And that's what I see as the problem. Partisanship is a sickness in the country today, in my humble opinion.
You see, I think you hit it on the head. And I think that if people would get off the Yankee and Red Sox bandwagon and start rooting for the
Mets,
Tampa Bay Rays, the country would be much better off.
Yeah, it's like, we should all just root for the country, right? We all want the country to succeed, Let me ask you, like, when did you sense a particular time in the last, 20 or so years that this started happening?
You know what? Yeah, probably. I was probably in school. First of all, I would say when Carter. Well,
great. Now I got to figure out how to edit this, or I'm gonna get the FCC on me.
Ah, jeez, you ain't got a 5-second delay.
We're a nonprofit. We don't have any of that fancy stuff.
Shoot. I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. But you're saying Carter. All right, so you're
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm 43, so I don't really you got a couple of years on me. I vaguely remember Carter's presidency, but
What,
what?
what happened was we'd gone through that crud with Nixon, where he said he wasn't a crook, and basically he got caught.
Right.
And then the whole country kind of swung to the left and gave Carter a shot. I mean, what gets me is the people that are in charge now are all the hippies from the 60s. They're the ones that were all about, we got to change this thing up. And now they're in charge, and they're like, we got to protect what we got. Nah, screw everybody else.
Do you think
it's like they say, if you're not a communist when you're 20, you have no heart, and if you're still a communist when you're 40, you have no brain.
Did you hear that, sir? That's why he's here. Did you hear what he just said?
Yeah, absolutely.
That guy's he's so much smarter than me.
And a lot of things. I think a lot of the problems that have gone on is the right wingers have done a good job of getting rid of our unions. And by
agree.
getting rid of the unions, now how do I explain it? It's like part of a salary package. You can go in and I may not get 15% raise. I may only get 3% cash money, but I make that company go ahead and pay for my health care. Well, if I get rid of the unions, I don't have to pay for health care anymore.
It is weird to see unions demonized in the country.
Oh, yeah, and that, as part of that, universal Medicare for all, the debate, I think that's something that should come out a lot more. Is that every small business owner I know talks about how much of a nightmare it is to deal with employee health care, but if you just had Medicare for all, small business owners would be free of that. They'd pay
Absolutely.
marginally higher income taxes, but you wouldn't have to deal with that as a business owner directly. I would think that would be much more of a selling point, but
here's the other thing is why do we make such a big deal out of how much money the federal government gets? We see where all that money goes to. Okay, they come up with a budget, and we see how much money goes to the military. We see how much money is spent on education, that kind of stuff. What I don't get is how much money do we actually spend every time we go to the gas tank and put money into the car? At 75 cents a gallon, or how much money do I spend every time I get French fries from McDonald's, and I spend 12 cents, as taxes on that, and I don't really care about it. They're just taking it. I just figure it's part of my to get my French fries, and I don't even think about it. Where's that money going? What's happening to that money? I'm giving it an extra 12 cents every time I give it, and I don't even think about, McDonald's is writing a big check.
Hey, let me ask you, just veering off for a second, President Trump, how do you think he's doing in terms of foreign policy? Because my belief or thought or observation is that maybe that's the one area where he seems to be sort of doing good things, or at least doing things that are appealing to sort of red-blooded, red meat-eating Americans, is that he's sort of getting tough in some ways that the previous administration did not. And having General Mattis in charge, do you think he's doing anything that's positive so far?
I agree.
No,
Rex Tillerson is Mr. Tillerson doing? He actually came out.
I'll tell you. Here's my whole. Boy, you just opened a can of worms. The way I look at it is Tillerson was in bed with the Russians long before this Russian thing happened.
True.
Back when ExxonMobil. He was CEO.
Sure.
Yeah, he got the order of friendship from the Russian government.
He was brought up in that company, raised in that company. Yeah.
Right. Well, what happened was, when basically he cut a $1 trillion deal with Russia when they invaded the Crimea because they needed a port to ship their oil, and that was going through ExxonMobil. And that's if you want to talk about money laundering, that all went through the Republican National Committee. So now you're talking, Rex Ryan, McConnell, they all got part of that money.
Rex Tillerson. We want
Paul Ryan.
That's right.
Not the coach of the Jets.
We
We just want the former coach of the Jets. We just want to point that out for legal reasons.
Yeah, well, hey, whatever. They all got part of that money. So that's why I think the Republican Party is all dirty, because they all took some of that money for their own campaign funds or whatnot.
Well, let me ask you a question, because we're taping that. I can't say taping. God forbid I say taping. We're recording this right now in the city of Ansonia in the lower Naugatuck Valley. We're at 158 Main Street. We're right next to the former Farrell Corporation, which took up several city blocks, former factory. The Valley. I live in Derby, another former factory town. Now, Ethan, what percentage of our population here voted for? Wasn't it like 60%?
Roughly 60%, yeah. Voted for Trump, you're saying.
So
in the Valley, yeah.
Do you live in the Valley, sir?
Nah, I think I live in, I don't know, the beach.
Okay, that's definitely not the Valley. But I was going to ask you, how do you talk to your neighbors about President Trump, where he has so much support here in the Naugatuck Valley? And how are we getting, I love that we're getting so many out of the Valley callers with this little experiment we're doing. But actually, you wouldn't be able to address that question because you don't live in the Valley, so the point is moot.
Well, first off, I don't talk to nobody. I hate people. I work at night. I drive a trash truck, and if I see somebody that I think I like, then I just remember that they're probably a card-carrying Republican or KKK member, and I just assume put them in the back of the truck. So,
or maybe they like Sammy Hagar Van Halen instead of David Roth. That's my personal thing. That's what somebody says that I can't deal with them. Well, let me ask you one last question, and then we're going to let you go. Where do you get your news from, sir? There's so much talk today about fake news and this kind of news and your mama's news. Where do you get your information from? Like when you wake up in the morning, what are you reading or watching or listening to?
I usually discuss it with my sister.
But how do you know what to discuss and where you get like your Rex Tillerson stuff? Where are you? Unless is your sister like Katie Tur?
Yeah, I want to say like the Army Times, Navy Times.
Okay. I know one of their writers. He used to work at the News Times with us.
From the Navy. She's I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. She's got sources through. She was a fellow at, I don't know, UConn or whatever, and so we just kind of like kick it back and forth, and
okay.
I talk to my friends, that kind of thing, and I guess I get it from everywhere. I listen to a lot of places, and then kind of come up with my own decision making.
All right, I'm getting craziness from the control room where they're playing us out. I want to thank you so much for calling us not just randomly calling us. I can't thank you enough, and thanks for the discussion.
Yeah.
All right, later on.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Katie Tur reference. Always.
Sorry, I just did it to make sure we have a voicemail.
But yeah, interesting.
This is our first tiptoeing into the talk radio world.
Often,
Yeah, I guess this went much better than I had planned or anticipated. I thought we did just vamp and talk about nothing, but I'll edit together and try to make it sound like something. But anyway, Let's. I'll check one last time with our Facebook page. I did get a little passive aggressive and angry with the whole tape versus recording thing, but that was just my clickbait. No, I was just trying to stir some stuff, stir some crud. Every time I go back, our top comment is something about Malloy. You put a picture of Malloy on the Facebook page.
That's just like basically a dartboard.
People go nuts.
How dare that man? But yeah, well, I'm pleasantly surprised by the amount of calls we've gotten.
I think with the return of Game of Thrones, we need to discuss the political situation in Westeros. And he's got the Game of Thrones Libertarian edition. That's Mark Casiglio. But yeah, Game of Thrones will have.
We'll have to see what happens with the Night King and the.
They got a zombie in that show. The show's got a bit of everything.
Daenerys, Daenerys.
Is that the dragon lady?
Yeah, she's the queen of dragons.
Lady,
yes,
the queen of dragons.
That scene
with
the last season where she was just like Dracarys. Yeah, that was pretty cool. But there seems to be one of those every season with the
of what? See, I don't really.
Where she says Dracarys and then the dragons they do something set cool. Somebody on fire. Yeah.
They look like Burt Reynolds in his Trans Am from Smokey and the Bandit rolling down the highway.
Yes, exactly.
Jerry Reed behind him.
Any two works of art should be compared ever, it's Game of Thrones and Smokey and the Bandit.
And Principles on HBO.
On that note, we should probably
sign off.
Unless somebody else calls in.
Nah, we're done.
It doesn't sound like anybody else is going to call in.
All right. Good luck and God bless.